been driving for quite a while, and finally the live button turned on so I could press it, so we finally have internet. Anyway, I thought I would touch base with you today. My daughter is learning about gourds. There's a documentary or something about gourds, and so she's invited me over to watch it with her. And so I'm bringing potatoes. She's off grid, so they don't have electricity unless they turn the generator on. I guess the generator will have to go on for us to have internet, so we can watch this show. Anyway, it's neat to have this opportunity to go hang out with her. She's very smart. You know, she's taking a medicinal herbs or some kind of a course about plants and their uses or whatever. Anyway, so it's very interesting to talk to her, and we always have tea, and she makes these interesting teas out of different plants. There was one she had lion's mane in one. I don't think she's using lion's mane right now, but anyway, different things. So it's always quite an adventure. She did have her goats living in her house with her when when they were young. She's got 4 goats now that are all in a barn, or a goat barn area. And she had her 3 pigs, which have now grown up and are very big, and they're outside in their pen. And she's got her chickens. Most of her tiny. Good morning, Suze. Most of her chickens are outside. She's got a few. I think it's quail and pheasants or something that she's got in a cage in her house. She has this tall cage with lots of things in it. And of course she has her rabbit, or rabbits, and cats. And it's interesting how her rabbit and cat hang out together. They think they're the same. So Chubbles is home again. Home being, this is his home away from home. It's hard for a cat in an apartment, especially him, because he wants to be out there. And I know there's all these bylaws about cats being outside in towns. Anyway, so he's back, and you know, I really missed him. I didn't realize what a big part of my life he has become. He's just always there with a need, and sometimes he'll want to go out the door and in, out and in, out and in. And it's like he'll be out there for half a minute and then come back to the door and come in for a minute, and then he'll go out for a minute, come in for a minute. Anyway, so did I tell you I moved all the furniture around, right? So I've got these 2 gliders in front of the French doors, which are glass for the ceiling. And so I put a light out there. My son, he gets all this stuff that he needs for a job, and then he doesn't want it anymore, and he gives it to me. So he has these 2 lights, and they're on a big stand, and they have 3 legs that open up, and then there's 3 lights that are very much like my hand, and they can rotate, and they can come down and rotate. So I put it outside, and I ran an extension cord in under the door, because the door is not, it's cushiony under the edges, you know, so there's room for the extension cord to come in. So it's plugged in outside. Oh, birds. It's plugged in outside and facing all those beautiful fir trees. And there's 5 of them, and they're in a circle, and they surround this area where there are 2 bare elms. And it's way too many trees for that spot, but they seem to be growing nicely. Anyway, and so I can sit there in that glider now at night, as soon as it's dark out, which is 5 o'clock. So all evening I can sit there with the light outside shining on the trees and write in my journal. Anyway, but being curious is so cool. So sometimes when I don't think of anything to do, I think, now Nancy, be curious. What can you be curious about? And so, you know, I was sitting there in this chair by the beautiful view, and my other daughter was there, and I said, I'm going to move all these books of my grandfather's and put my own stuff there. And then she said, well, what's that black book there with the gold design on it? And I pulled it down, and it was Thackeray, W.M. Thackeray, and I guess he's an author from 1850 or something. Anyway, so these books were published in 1900, but I think the writings come from about 1850, and they're written with the Old English spelling, like everything is very phonetic. So betwixt would be, well, that has an accent anyway, but anyway, there's these words that, like something is SMYTHUNG or something. Anyway, they're all over the place. She was looking through it and read a few sentences, and she said, look, this is all misspelled. Everything's misspelled. Hold on. That just means it was from England. Anyway, so I started reading it. I'm reading the memoirs of C.L. Yellow Plush. Yellow Plush. Anyway, it's a very interesting story that is set in the time, and it's his memoirs, and he was born in the year 1 in the Christian era, and it is now the year 10, and he's talking about these various occupations he's had, like work. He was anyway, I don't want to go into the story. Read the story if you want, or look it up. But so I decided I'm going to sit there and read this book. I have these great ideas of doing that. Sometimes there's books with all kinds of cool ideas in them, and I can't decide what I want to do, and so I don't do anything. But that's the way I felt about an origami book. You know what I did? I decided I would just do every single thing in the origami book, and so I did. And I did that with my birch bark book, and I did every single one of that was by Yarrow. Ivanovich or something. It was Russian, and so Russians do a lot of stuff with birch bark. Which brings me to another point. So I did everything in that book, but I was thinking about my studio, and I'm, doing stained glass. I've had so many negative experiences. Every time I start to do my stained glass, the glass cracks in the wrong direction, and I've gotten a new blade. I think I have to warm up the glass because it's old now. But old shouldn't matter, right? Why would old matter? Because you just if you heat it, sort of like recreating it, you heat it again, it should be fine. Anyway, so I've got, but I was thinking, so I've got stained glass teacups and saucers to put holes in, to put on a teacup trail, or wherever I feel like doing it. And maybe one for every fence post along the road. But what about my birch bark? I want to work on my birch bark, but I don't want to make a big mess in the house, and that's what keeps me from starting it. And I know that once it's on the table in the kitchen, it'll be there forever, and I might not necessarily work on it. The other day I had this basket, my housekeeper, who I haven't seen for a month and a half. I wonder if she stayed in Austria, or if I think she'll get in touch with me when she comes back. Her mother was ailing in the hospital, so she may be there to take care of her mother. She may still be in Austria, but I don't know. Anyway, so I don't really want to make a mess in my house, but what if I took the birch bark down to the studio? What if I made baskets down there? Every part of my house, which I start to do as a creative area, I end up not using it for that, right? Because I clean it up, and then it's so nice and clean, and it ends up with another purpose. Like upstairs in the house, I have painting stuff out now, so I can paint up there in the big room. And I've got my violin up there. I think it was too cold in the family room. I think it needs to be at a stable temperature. So I put it up there, and I played it yesterday. I thought I play my violin, and I turn it on and I play my violin, but sometimes I'm just trying to pick out new songs, like the last time I did it, and I felt like it was a really bad video because it was just all finding the notes, and they never sounded very good. Like the whole piece didn't work. I mean, it did for me, but not not for listening to. And so I thought, well, maybe I should just play all my songs. Play everything I usually play, you know. I've got a routine almost, you know, Home on the Range, all kinds of songs I play. And I should just, that's like my set, right? I should just play my set for myself. And that would be good, right? And then when I'm doing that, then I could play for you because I already know the pieces well enough to just play them and not have to find the notes all the time. And it's, you know, like you're wandering through YouTube looking for a video and you come across violin music and, you know, you don't want to hear somebody trying to find the notes, right? You're thinking of, oh, I wonder if they know this song. And you look up that song and then it's somebody that doesn't know how to play it. You know, I just think it's not a good idea. Anyway, so I'm driving to Scarlett's. We had a lot of snow yesterday. I don't think we had a foot. We had about 8 inches, I think. And I snow blew it all. I did it with that head cam, you know, the GoPro. Oh, but then I tried to, I uploaded, I've got a whole bunch of cleaning the studio to upload. They're all about 10 minutes long. And it takes like 36, 48 hours for them. What is he doing in this side? You know, these passing lanes, the center lane used for passing, those are so dangerous. You know, it's just so dangerous because they might be going over a hill and it's pretending like you have this chance to pass. But, you know, the other day, remember that in Toronto or wherever I was when somebody was pulling up? Yeah, we almost had an accident the way they almost had a head-on collision right beside us. That was something else. Anyway, so we had about 8 inches of snow. I went out with my snowblower yesterday. I'm so grateful for the snowblower. You know, I haven't had it for years, right? Never had a snowblower until my mother died, and then I had a little money, and so I got a snowblower. I have a lot of money actually, and I used it all up, but I got a snowblower. Thank goodness I did that. But I didn't get a good roof over the studio. That is a problem. But yesterday Willem went out and he got me 2-inch screws so I can screw all these pieces into the wall and maybe the whole wall will work well. And then I could put shelves up and I could put things up on the shelves. You can put all the clay up on the shelves properly. And other things. You see, my kiln doesn't work. And well, it works, but I don't trust it. I need to babysit it, but even if I babysit it, if something caused a fire, it's too hot for me to, you know, you can't just put out a kiln. It's going to be very hot. Anyway, I need a cement wall behind it. That's what I need before I start using it, you know. And then, of course, there's the fire insurance thing, and I don't think that they will let you have stuff like a business in your house or a kiln. I don't think you get fire insurance if you have a kiln. We had to get electric heat all through our house so we can get fire insurance. Because if you say you heat with a wood stove, if that's your primary heat, then they won't give you insurance. But we had insurance forever. Anyway, but the underwriters don't like it, so you can't have it as your primary. So anyway, we actually do heat with electricity a lot now. All the heaters seem to be on downstairs. I try and go around and turn them down or turn them off at times, but for the most part, the whole house is warm, which is really cool because in the winter, my house has never been all warm, right? It's only warm some of the time. And then when the wood stove goes out, it's cold. So it's kind of neat because it's never really cold anymore. Anyway, so Scarlett phoned about this gourds today. So she wants to watch this. She's learning about gourds. And, you know, I've done some things with gourds. I've got a dipper, it's a long gourd with a long handle. And I use it, it's got a hole at the very top and it's got a hole in the side. So I dip it down into the stream, it fills up with water, and I pull it straight back up. It's perfect. It's like perfect for that. It's so much harder to get right down by the stream to put water in a pot or in a glass, you know. It's very difficult, but this is so simple. And I've always drunk the water from the stream, except now the beavers are in and I boil it. So I have to make a campfire if I'm thirsty. off the main road. I'm not sure at what point we'll lose cell service, but when we lose cell service, it's very unlikely that it'll come back. There's a possibility that it might tell me to reconnect. I might be able to reconnect once, but I might not. So if I'm not back in a few minutes, then I'm gone. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I've done all these things with gourds. I've got the gourd dipper. I've painted a beautiful campfire on one. I've got another one that's got a waterfall on it. Another one that's got a lake, and it was from the camp. And I spent the time at camp when I went with girls camp with the church years ago. I spent the time sitting around painting gourds. Anyway, so I've used gourds for that. And in Jamaica, we had a bowl that was a calabash, half of a calabash bowl, and a spoon that was made. It was just a curved piece of coconut shell that was all rounded nicely. Anyway, and what else? Well, if you look, and I've done pyrography on it, which is wood burning. I made a chickadee on one, and I made a dog on one, or a wolf. Anyway, but it went wrapped around the side. People wave out here. Isn't that nice? I was watching road rage videos the other day, and it appears to me that what's happening is that somebody is driving along, somebody wants to merge in, and common courtesy would allow them to enter in. You just hang back a little bit. I mean, what's no skin off your teeth, and they can come in. And if somebody is already trying to enter the road, you don't beep at them and go past. And that's what or pull up tight against the person ahead. And then what happens is the person behind is really upset, and they blow their horn back and give them the finger, and eventually they'll pull over and they'll block the road, and they'll get out and go back to yell at the person, or they'll have a gun and point a gun in the window. Like, this is crazy stuff, and it could all be avoided with common courtesy. What happened to common courtesy? I love Canada. I love that when I'm in a parking space, the person coming out of the parking space, of course, does not have the legal right-of-way, but the common courtesy right-of-way. So if I'm pulling out of a parking space, the people behind stop. We all do it. We all stop. Every parking lot, everywhere. And I was in Georgia, and I was trying to pull out of a parking space, and there was like road rage behind me, like, I've got the right of way, get out of the way, don't come out when I'm, whatever the feeling is, but it was like so self-centered and no common courtesy. And my father used to say, courtesy costs nothing. Kindness costs nothing. Really, it's free. And it'll make you feel happy. It'll make you feel good. Sometimes when I drive, I just look on it as an opportunity to help other drivers. Let's all get to our destinations. So if I see that there's a lot of people that have been waiting because a train has passed and they're all waiting, I'll stop and I'll let them go through, right? I try, and not all the time, but and it makes you feel good because you know that you have helped that person in some way. Can you imagine? Look at this. We are really close to Scarlett's, and the internet is still working. This is pretty cool. But we're turning now. This is a very steep hill, but they put sand on the road in the center. So the roads are snow covered with a little bit of brown in the middle where the sand is. But they're not, the snow is not thick. The snow is gone. It's all been plowed. But it's, there's probably a couple of inches of snow that is packed really solidly, so you have a new surface. You don't have the pavement. You have a snowpack. Gravel roads are like that, right? Ah, it's so beautiful here. Oh, looking into the woods. Oh my gosh, the snow is 4 inches deep on every branch. Oh my gosh, it's like when I went for that walk in Bill's Forest. That was was really nice. Common courtesy. Courtesy costs nothing. Anyway, so we're gonna go learn about gourds. Hey, my windshield is completely unfrozen now. There's just a little bit of water dripping down. But it's hot in here. It's negative 12 outside, but it's hot in here. There was really good snow a couple days ago, packy snow. So I'm bringing microwaved potatoes and microwaved Brussels sprouts. And she's making lentils. I also brought apples. So we're gonna have a nice lunch together. Oh, it's so beautiful. I should probably park way out here and walk in. But I don't feel like it. It's so pretty. Oh, look at this. You are still here and we're in her driveway. This is fabulous. There's two ways I can go to her house. I can go one way, which goes all through the woods, and there's no cell service anywhere there. Or I can go the other way, which heads to town. Good morning, Tyler. Well, I'm here at my daughter's house now, and so I'm about to go. It is such a pretty place here. What if I go this way to come up in her? Park up this way. Look at this, you're still here. Oh my word, you can even look out the window. Isn't that beautiful? And there's her house over there. They're still building it. Her animals are over there. You can see her stuff on Scarlet Damon Photography or Scarlet Damon Homesteading or all that sort of stuff. I have to put the window back up. Retain some of this heat. I've got on so many layers. I'm hot. Okay then, I have to take my keys out of the car because sometimes my car decides to just lock randomly. Do you have to shovel her driveway? No, she's done it. It's all done. We have people that shovel it, come and do stuff like that. I'm gonna take my mitts. See these mitts? I put fleece inside. And so it's like thrumming. You can do it when you're knitting. You just add a little piece of fleece every time. They're really fat, but they're so warm. My hands are not going to get cold. But I'm not going to get cold anyway because I'm hot. Okay, so I'll take this. Oh, and I'll take these slippers. Maybe I'll put them in my bag. I'm also bringing some fleece for her. I wanted to show her this fleece I got. Isn't this long? This sheep was like 5 years not being shorn. Can you believe that? But I also brought her some of the carded fleece so she can stick it in her pockets. I always put a little chunk of fleece in my pockets when I'm in my winter coats. Oh, I have a heavy backpack now. Just to let her know I'm here. Look at this. This is amazing that you're on. I wonder if having her Wi-Fi on is bringing the signal in. She's got a cell thing. One of those Tesla things. Those are goats. All right, let's go. Quit the car. This is her barnyard. Her homesteading. Yeah, it's Scarlet Damon Homesteading or something like that. So we're going to go and do some gourd stuff. I have a whole bunch of gourds. Remember I bought them in Georgia? I bought a whole bunch of them, about 20 or 30 or something, and they were like $5 each and $2 each. So I have a lot of them in they're under the see how much snow we've got? We had no snow. Now we have snow. She's made such a beautiful place here, hasn't she? She has vegetables, like she has lettuce growing in those greenhouses. I gotta get this backpack on better. Hold on a minute. Put my back out. It's early in the day. Oh, and that reminds me, I have little container in the car I brought for her. Let's go back. So this was solid woods when she moved here. She's building another pen over there. She's always doing something. Now, where is that little jar? I think it's right in this store. She likes those little... Oh, see, it randomly locked. A little glass jar. I think it's in here. Not in there. Not over there. Sorry to show you my mess. I have a very big mess. That's my life. Wonder where it is. Oh well, I'm just gonna give it to her. I made some signs for her. This one says Studio Lane, and that one says Perennial Lane. And then she's got one up here that says Meadow Fire Pit. You see, these are mullein, these spikes that stick up. And if you put those seeds, if you grind up the seeds and put them in a pond or a stream, oh, she's clearing the trails here. Oh, I guess this is her pathway to get to the barn. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, she's so creative. She's such a doll. You know, all these posts, she could put teacups and saucers on them, but I don't think she'd be interested in that. See, isn't this a cool house? She's building it. Got enough wood. Hey, and there's her bunny rabbit. There he is. Isn't he cute? And her Christmas tree. And over there's the outhouse. That's the greenhouse or the garden, something like that. All right. Well, I guess I should turn it off now. This is amazing. Hi, bunny. Hello, rabbit. Okay, bye.